thought it's a whole lot of things have happened since the morning, and it's better to start with a fresh thing today. We understand that it's the last session, and you have been hearing a lot about AI since morning. We will not take much of your time onto it, but we'll try to keep it very crisp and try to jump onto a very specific questions and more of the interactive side. So this is an opportunity for you guys. If you want to ask any specific questions related to HR analytics, you can ask us. So the topic is AI powered HR analytics data driven decision making. So my name is Abhijit Puri and I will be moderating this session today. So yeah, let's, instead of introduction, I will directly start with the session. Is it fine? Okay, we have two industry stalwarts with me. Both were my mentors, and I've been working with them since on different aspects, on different forums. I've learned a lot from them. One is Millie and another is Baliram. I would take it up with Millie. So before I start with that question, I want to brief up about what is data-driven decisions. So if I give you something, right, you are driving a Maruti 800 which has no dashboard or anything, and you are driving a Mercedes Benz or a BMW with a dashboard, which one would you prefer will give you more analytics and give you the right decision making aspects? Which one would you prefer? No, not on the luxury part, but from the decision making aspects. Which one? Mercedes. Okay, great. Why? Because it has analytics on top of it? Or is it because just the name of the car is different? What is it? You guys said Mercedes, right? So what is it that help you or make you better taking decision? Is it Maruti 800 or a Mercedes?
800. Maruti 800.
For a decision making.
Maruti 800.
You guys have seen the dashboard, right, for both the cars? Okay, let me break it up again. Why I'm bringing this dashboard aspect to you guys is, dashboards are something which help you to analyze and give you the right decision making power at that moment. And that is what all our topic is about today. Data analytics, HR analytics on top of it. So Millie, my first question would be, how important is real-time data in HR analytics and what technologies or practices can help us achieve that?
Good evening everyone. Can I have a round of hellos to everyone? Yeah, because I know when it's the last session, it's always very tiring, and I do understand and appreciate your patience, not only listening but staying awake. So we want to be sure that you all are awake. My name is Millie. I have been born and brought up in Pune, have more than 2 decades of HR experience. Worked in different industries, right from manufacturing to IT to ITS, and now back into manufacturing, but it's a group of companies, so I take care of both manufacturing and IT. So that's a little bit of introduction about me. To Abhijit's question on real-time HR analytics, or how does it help? My first thought would be, before I go into the importance of HR analytics, it is, why are we talking of HR analytics? What is it that we are trying to drive? So as an employee, when you join an organization, there's an entire life cycle that an employee goes through. You join a company, before you join a company, you're doing a recruitment, you're then hired, you're onboarded, you're then given training, then your assessment is done. So you have a complete life cycle, what we call as an employee life cycle in HR. So when you look at it, the relevance of it is, how important is that data? And depends on whether it's a small organization or a large organization, there is data. So when you have data, and if I look at, if I actually reverse it to talk about an analogy with a college. As students, you all have your data which is resting with the institute. So when the institute wants to do a demographics, how would they do a demographics? Sorry? By analyzing the data? So you will first consolidate the data, and then you will probably give an algorithm to say, okay, how many people do I have? How many students do I have? What's the gender? What is the age? What kind of qualification do they come from? What location do they come from? What is it that they are interested in? Whether they are interested in MBA or whether they are interested in MBA finance or HR, right? So all that is data. If you just give data to you, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So the relevance of the data will come when I'm able to analyze that data. So the first point is, it is important to have data, but more important to look at the data and say, what do I want to know with that data? How do I use that data for my day-to-day operations? How do I get information that I can help make a decision? As leaders, our job is to enable our organization and our leadership to say, okay, here is the data available, so I have information which I then move into a data and then analyze it and then give back to the organization saying that, okay, here is it, here's the analysis that I have done. And so thereby, it is very, very important that you analyze the data and then provide the information back into the organization. Similarly, whether you are looking at a college, whether you are looking at a school, you are looking at any volunteering organization, you will have loads of data, and today we are sitting with loads of data. When you look at even your phone, there's a lot of emails and WhatsApp messages that are there. Right? And sometimes when you want to search something, what do? You actually press a search button to find that information. So when you want to consolidate, you actually want to see, okay, let me look at my memory lane of all the pictures that I have. It's nothing but the data that is getting captured and being given back to you to say, okay, here's the analysis that's done. So HR analytics, and when I'm talking of HR analytics, it's the team that looks at all of this data that is captured for an employee, whether it is for recruitment, whether it is for onboarding, whether I want to do a performance management. Performance management is nothing but like in your college life, it is your assessment that you get, whether you pass or fail, you give an exam and you are evaluated. So it's the same thing in an organization. So we have a cycle where we evaluate our employees and then give an assessment to them. So thereby, I think in our day-to-day lives, HR analytics does play a very crucial role.
Thank you, Malik. So yes, data is very important. As I said, one of the persons, I think one of the students said he wants to start up something on clothing, right? Where he wants to build an app right now for avatar thing. Now imagine if that is very good thing. Already the team mentioned that there are some applications on top of it. Now the data comes over here is, imagine in your wardrobe, how many clothes are there? You can enhance to that as a product. So just an idea. In your wardrobe, how many clothes are there? Which color? With how many jeans, which t-shirts, which dresses, which saris or any of the things. If you have that as a data, right? Then when you're going out for a shopping, it can help you that yes, I have these many things, I have to buy something else, which is important, depending on your function, depending on things that you want to take ahead with. So probably this will help you as a data, which can give you insights for decision making. Okay, so next question, Bali, how can organizations tailor AI analytic solutions to meet their specific needs, and what should they consider for scalability?
Okay, first of all, thank you for this opportunity, and I feel really great for all of you because of this program arranged by Dr. Bhatia, Tarita Madam, and then Madhuri Madam and Asif, because you are fortunate that whole day going into this knowledge, and whatever knowledge which you have today, this will help throughout your career, because it's a beginning for you and it's a beginning even for the AI era. Okay, you are really passing at the right time, and this is time will be helpful for you to build your career for next 30-35 years. Okay, so and you are fortunate to in this junction of your life anyways. So organizations are definitely going through a lot of transformation, and you come across a lot of tools and some of the practices which is shared by their panelists as well. Now how analytics and AI is leveraged in the employee life cycle, starting from recruitment to retention, or even the complete employee cycle to check the mood of the employee and whether they are frustrated and all those aspects. So technology, and here AI is a absolutely partner with the HR person. Okay, it is not like today if there are some monotonous job in the either in HR stream or any other business as well, those will anyways will get redundant. Okay, machine will definitely take them. And if there are some specific roles where a lot of thought process thinking is required, okay, and if there are some innovative thought process are important, then human being is definitely will play a role. Okay, so specifically talking about recruitment, today all of us, we are part of the social media. How enough you are on LinkedIn and Instagram, okay, all platform you are using, right? And at times we are so casual that you are putting some comments, and today when if any organization they want to hire and they want to leverage the technology based on what kind of person you are, okay, so hiring decisions can be made. Now how important it is, like how you are showing your characters to the social media, you should be very careful. All right, so that your right image portrayed there should not be so casual that if some remark goes and that creates the problem for your hiring, okay, or retaining. Some of the organizations, they are so careful about to mitigate the risk. Okay, so if anything goes wrong, then organization is on stake. All right, so that time all these the technology and AI, the back end, the way it is working, they are always looking at the data points. So data is critical. Every point, whatever which we are talking, if you are able to convert it into data in 0 and 1 in technology world, so that can be or even any problem statement also. If you have the right problem statement, there is a solution in place. It's like that. So definitely you are at the right time, and the way AI is evolving and the way it is transforming the organization. So in next few years, these are absolutely happening, and it's exciting time for all of us. Okay, grab the opportunity, and when it comes to specifically on the analytics parts and decision making, so the way tools are helping, okay, at the same time some of the inferences which are there, those can be interpreted by the human being, which are equally important.
Thank you, Bali, for nice tips for the students. So yes, as Bali rightly said, that you are at the right time currently you are the pioneer batch, what I can say, for the AI analytics that's shaping up the world in the future. So over here, the data aspect is also, the data governance is very important. Whatever we are putting across in any format, in organizations, or you are using any of the applications, most of the time we are under peer pressure, we go ahead, we download the applications and all, we don't know the implications of it. How is that data utilized? Where is it being utilized? So we have to be very careful about this information that you are sharing on the internet, because it cannot be wiped out. So remember of all those you can say dangerous hazards towards this, on what information and what you are typing or what you are posting on any of the social media or any of these applications that you are going to use in the future as well. Okay, so Millie, my next question would be to you. How can HR departments address concerns about bias and discrimination in AI-powered decision making? And what are the ethical considerations that organizations should be aware of when implementing an AI in HR?
So I'll address both the questions together. When you talk about bias, I think we are human beings and we are born to have biases. It just comes naturally at times to us. So thereby, because we have biases, we can control, because we are anyway talking about it. When you talk about AI, you are actually dealing with a system or a process which is not listening to you. Actually, you're feeding your thought process. You're feeding your inputs into it, which means you're actually creating your own bias into that system, and then automatically the AI will throw out the information that you have fed in. So I think the first step that anybody, when they're working on a platform or a tool, has to be very, very conscious that these unconscious biases are taken care of. Because AI will generate what you've given it. AI will generate that information back to you by analyzing that data in the form that you have fed it. So caution has to be made. I think audits on a regular basis have to be made by the HR team to ensure that the data or that information or even the series of instructions that are being given, are they validated again? Because I think we need to ensure that there are checks and balances so that these biases are not creeped in. Similarly, when you look at, and biases could be, especially at the time of hiring. The bias could be at the time of promotions. The bias could be at the time of taking care of looking at certain employees if someone is not performing. The bias should not be that I don't like you, so thereby I'm going to penalize you. The bias, so you have to be very cautious. And when I'm saying you, it is we in HR, when we are giving instructions or when we are creating an algorithm, we need to ensure that we are validating that algorithm over a period of time to ensure that those biases are taken care of. So I think that is something that definitely needs to happen from an HR team, that constantly keeping checks and ensuring that the data that is coming out is validated and it's not, and it's done bias free to the extent you can actually make it bias free. That is one. The second thing is being transparent. Organizations talk about transparency, but the transparency will come if you actually walk the talk and show what you're actually saying. So you have to communicate to your employees saying that this is the process we're going to follow, this is how the system is going to evaluate you, and this is going to be the outcome. And if there is an error that's coming up, the organization needs to be ready to even re-look at those actions that have been taken. So I think most important, and I see that happening in organizations. Since I work in an organization, I know sometimes we do work on data, we do work on information that is picked up, analyzed, but the employee might actually have a genuine reason and the system doesn't capture it. And because of that, if I'm doing an attendance system and I have a cut-off time saying, okay, after 10 o'clock, nobody is available or the person has not marked absent, but that employee may have marked, but the system may not have worked. So I have to ensure that I'm creating an option available that that information is captured and incorporated back again. So creating a transparency organization or enabling employees to feel that we are being truthful and the integrity is high, I think that is another area that the organization has to look at. I'm just going to keep my answers short because I'm aware that we have limited time. Otherwise, I can go on and on.
Thank you, Millie. So, team, we have seen over here biasness for gender biasness, region biasness, religion biasness, or multiple other things, right? But have you guys thought about the digital biasness? Anyone heard of this? Digital biasness? No? Okay. AI is bringing up with best things that we can look at. But there is digital biasness over here. Let us say everyone is trying to use ChatGPT or something, any of the tools, and prepare the resume. Everyone is using similar one with the job description. Most of the resumes that will come across will be exact same. Right? If you are using the same tools to prepare a resume or prepare any of the data. Now let's say ChatGPT you are using for some presentation something. It will throw up with the exact same things. And 70 to 80% crowd will come across with similar patterns. Then if an applicant tracking system, when you are hiring for something, that will look at it from the AI perspective. And it will give that all the profiles are 100% match. And everyone is best fit. So that is digital biasness. So नकल के लिए अकल की ज़रूरत होती है. So that's more important. As students, I would say that learn from others what they are saying and everything from the AI as well, but make sure what questions you are asking, that will differentiate. And as earlier panel said, prompt engineering, that is one of the biggest things that's coming across today. Because if you're not asking the right questions, you will not get the right answers, and neither you will get the right directions. So make sure when you are using any of these AI tools for your purpose, this digital biasness will be there, which you have to overcome. That will be the differentiator. Okay, next question to Bali. So how can HR professionals ensure that AI-powered analytics is used to drive positive outcomes for employees and the organization?
Yeah, so adding to Abhi, so the way you are leveraging the AI tool for preparing your resume, even organization side, we are using AI tool to assess them. Okay, so now you understand, where we are heading, and that is the reason existence of HR people is definitely important. Okay, so coming back to the Abhi's question, so how positive outcomes for the employees and the organizations comes through AI. So today we are at the beginning of this era, and a lot of concerns still globally exist in this AI-driven, culture. Okay, and I was in IIM Lucknow a few weeks back, and we were discussing about similar problem there, and we had some co-panelists from IBM and Infosys. So I was representing my HR association, HR Infotech, because we keep organizing various workshops, seminars on with various frequency, and there we get opportunity to believe me, Abhi, we are part of it, and we get opportunity to interact and come to know what's happening in specifically in IT industry because we are associated with it. So this is a big problem statement right now that if you see even Modi ji talking that some of his videos are done by AI where he is playing the dandiya. Okay. Now this is one side, but there are a lot of other side, how someone can misuse the technology, the AI, in terms of your voice, in terms of your your face and everything. So now we don't have the adequate control at this point. Okay, and that's a big challenge. That's a big problem statement, and we are talking about the responsible AI. How we can have the responsible AI? Now, I know this will take time. Okay, so bringing the regulation and control at global level for such happening technology, it's not that easy. But can we bring it at individual level? Can we bring it at a group level? Can we bring it at organization level? And then it becomes easy to get the best practice and bring some controls overall in the corporate level. I know it will take time, but it's a big problem statement which we should address as a community. All right. So now because of this AI, employees are definitely happy. Like earlier, if they want to have some specific information, they have to raise a request in the system. They have to wait for the SLA and all that. But now they can simply go and just put the keywords and the generative AI, the way we have the ChatGPT. Lot of organization now they have their own ChatGPT within organization. Okay, some organizations they are very cautious. They don't want to really use the generative AI tool, outside tool, because whatever the information which is going out, that will create some nuisance for them. Okay, they're restricting this ChatGPT within their own organization. But if any information required, easily is available through the tool now. Okay. Now, from employer perspective, a lot of information, like if I want to just check any policy, or if I'm going for some sales meet, so some information, some statistics, if I want, it is just matter of using the right keywords and getting that information. So things are becoming very easy, but only concern is we have to leverage it in right way.
Thank you, Bali. So what the crux of Bali was trying to tell is definitely there is generative AI and things are making it easier and all. But what I feel is in that AI is artificial intelligence, and what we are trying to become is all artificial. I request everyone to use our intelligence. That's more important, right? Because AI can make you so much used to it that you might forget your own intelligence in a way. So for that, it's very, very basics that you have to be aware of what you want to know and how you want to use that tools for your own benefit. So I would conclude.
I'll quickly add there. So right now I think AI is used for creative content in terms of text, right? Now in ideal scenario, who should be more creative, human being or machine? Human. Okay. And a lot of repetitive work, something if I want to really get help to clean my home or clothes, who should do that? Yeah, or any machine. Okay. But what is happening, or even cooking that way, if Millie may not agree with it because she likes cooking. But point is, like if something is repetitive, if you are not liking to do it, you should give it to machine. Whereas a creative part, right now I think it is misleading, which I feel personally, where we are asking AI tool to prepare our resume or even drafting the email. Someone was talking in an earlier panel that why that cryptic message and why not elaborated a very sophisticated message. I personally feel that why we want detailed big message. First of all, it should be cryptic. Okay, only thing is that you should be able to communicate with shortest words.
Okay, great. So I would like to open this question and answers to the audience. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and we would love to answer them. Anyone from this side? No questions?
There is question, I think.
Questions?
Hello sir, this is Janvi. Do recruiter or candidates have any good reasons to be worried about AI?
I can take that if you want.
Yes.
So I think that is a concern that is growing in the industry. Recruiters feel that my job is going. Some part of their job would definitely not be required to be done by them. I think that can be done by AI. For example, screening a resume, you really don't need a recruiter to do it. Analyzing the resume in terms of even the first round of interview can be done, but I think the recruiter has to start looking at a little more broader. If I look at my own expectations from my recruiters will be start thinking from a business angle, start thinking from a hiring manager's perspective. What is it that the candidate has to have, and how can you actually help the organization in identifying that resource? So when I'm even when I'm actually putting my job description, can I have a very detailed yet crisp job description telling what kind of a candidate I want, so that I'm not wasting the candidate's time and I'm not wasting my time as well, right? So to your question, that is a concern that many recruiters are right now fearing. I don't think it's going to be redundant, but they need to upskill themselves. The message I would give to all of you is that AI is definitely going to stay. The question is, by the time you pass out, there'll be a lot of new things that will change. It is very important that you are alert. It is important that you are adaptive. It is important that you are flexible, and it is important that you keep upscaling yourself to what the need at that point in time is, because it is changing. It's not in anybody's control. So as a candidate, you'll have to start looking at, okay, I am doing this now. What do I need to do 2 years down the line? And so how do I upskill myself for that? Yeah, does it help?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
last one thing what I would urge to all the students here is, see, there will be tools, there will be softwares, there will be applications that will come across, right? There will be machines which will do our jobs. But imagine what is the next level of leadership team that's going to happen. Are you that leader? In today's time, you want everything in a blink of a, that any result that you're expecting. Your patience levels have gone really, really low. You're screening the reels within of 30 seconds, you want something change, right? Currently, when the pandemic hit, and after that when we are calling all the employees back to office and all, people are having resistance to come back to office. They want to work from home. That is hampering the productivity and all for a lot of organizations as well. Imagine to manage those people, the current managers are facing so much of challenge. What kind of patience level they have to develop? And when you are going to come in the organizations, and when you will be at a leader, the next generations will have lesser patience than you guys. How are you going to deal with that? That is something which I always urge to everyone. As a human intelligence, you develop those skills for yourself. Rest other skills will always evolve. But human intelligence and leadership skills is always going to stay with you. Okay, with this I would like to close.
I'll give just one closing comment. So it's a very critical time for all of you. Okay, so these technologies will keep coming, change will keep coming. Today we are talking about AI, something else will keep coming. And person like Dr. Rajiv Bhatia ji, if you just see his LinkedIn profile, what is his designation? Okay, now imagine, after spending so many decades in the corporate, where we are heading? Finally, what we want? Food. Okay, so don't forget that one as well. Thank you.